Look, I'm not going to tell you that eating certain foods will magically cleanse your lungs overnight. That's not how your body works. But here's what is true. There are specific foods backed by actual medical research that can genuinely improve lung function, reduce inflammation, and help you breathe better. And some of these findings honestly surprised me. Let's talk about what's really happening in your lungs right now. Every day, your respiratory system deals with pollution, allergens, bacteria, and if you're a smoker or ex-smoker, the lingering effects of cigarette damage. What these 5 foods do is support your lungs' natural defense mechanisms through antioxidants, anti-inflammatory compounds, and nutrients that actually matter. So let's get into it. Number 1, apples. I know it sounds boring, but here's the thing. The research on apples and lung health is actually pretty impressive. Studies show that eating 5 or more apples per week is associated with better lung function and a reduced risk of developing COPD, which is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. For ex-smokers specifically, apple intake has been linked to a slower decline in lung function over time. We're talking about real, measurable differences here. What makes apples special? It's the combination of antioxidants, particularly flavonoids and vitamin C. These compounds work together to protect your lung tissue from oxidative stress and inflammation. One study even found that apple intake is associated with a lower risk of lung cancer and asthma. The mechanism seems to be that these antioxidants neutralize harmful free radicals before they can damage your cells. Now, before you rush out to buy apple juice, hold on. The benefits come from eating whole apples, not drinking processed juice. You need that fiber and the full spectrum of compounds working together. An apple a day keeping the doctor away? In this case, it might actually have some truth to it. Number 2, tomatoes. Tomatoes are absolutely packed with lycopene, and this compound is a game changer for lung health. Multiple studies have shown that eating tomatoes and tomato products can improve airway inflammation if you have asthma. But here's the really interesting part. Lycopene has been associated with a reduced risk of mortality in people with COPD. A major longitudinal study found that serum levels of lycopene and vitamin C were the only antioxidants negatively associated with the risk of all-cause mortality in fully adjusted models. That's significant. We're not just talking about feeling a bit better. We're talking about actual survival benefits. Research also shows that lycopene and provitamin carotenoids are negatively associated with lung function decline over 14 years in young adults. The best part? Cooking tomatoes actually increases the bioavailability of lycopene. So tomato sauce, tomato juice, even ketchup, they all count. Your body can absorb lycopene more easily when tomatoes are cooked with a little bit of healthy fat, like olive oil. Number 3, garlic. Okay, this one's going to blow your mind. Garlic contains a compound called allicin, and recent research from the University of Edinburgh showed that allicin can actually kill bacteria that cause life-threatening lung infections in people with cystic fibrosis. And we're talking about bacteria that are highly resistant to most antibiotics. But it gets better. Studies have demonstrated that allicin works as a vapor, which means it can be effective against microorganisms through the gas phase. There are literally no volatile antibiotics currently available for clinical use, which makes allicin incredibly interesting from a medical standpoint. In laboratory settings, allicin vapor inhibited the growth of lung pathogenic bacteria at various concentrations, including multi-drug-resistant strains. Now, here's the practical part. Allicin is produced when you crush or chop raw garlic. That crushing action activates an enzyme that converts alleine into allicin. So if you're taking garlic supplements or using garlic powder, you're not getting the same antimicrobial punch. For maximum benefit, crush fresh garlic and let it sit for about 10 minutes before cooking or eating it. This allows the allicin to fully form. Garlic also provides vitamin C, zinc, and vitamin E, all nutrients that support lung health. By enhancing immune function and reducing inflammation, if you're worried about the breath situation, well, that's the price of admission for one of nature's most powerful antimicrobial foods. Number 4, ginger. Ginger has been used in traditional medicine for centuries, but now we have the science to back it up. Studies demonstrate that chronic administration of ginger extract, or its bioactive component, 6-Chagall, significantly reduces lung inflammation and airway hyperresponsiveness in asthma models. This isn't just ancient wisdom, this is published in peer-reviewed journals. A recent clinical trial on patients with mild to moderate asthma found that a small daily dose of ginger supplementation improved 3 different measures of asthma symptom control by the 28-day mark. The participants weren't taking massive amounts either, just a standardized ginger extract. What's happening at the cellular level is that 6-Shogal inhibits inflammatory pathways and helps regulate the immune response in your airways. Here's what makes ginger particularly interesting. It works through multiple mechanisms. It reduces inflammation by inhibiting certain enzymes. It helps relax airway smooth muscle. And it has antioxidant properties that protect lung tissue from damage. Animal studies have shown that ginger can prevent severe lung damage from hyperoxia and inflammation, with measurable reductions in inflammatory markers. You can consume ginger fresh, dried as tea, or in supplement form. Fresh ginger contains gingerols, while dried or heated, ginger contains more shogals. Both are beneficial, but they work slightly differently in your body. A simple way to incorporate it is brewing fresh ginger tea. Slice up about an inch of fresh ginger root. Steep it in hot water for 10 minutes. Add honey if you want, and you've got yourself a lung-supporting drink. Number 5. Leafy greens. This is where things get interesting. Dark leafy greens like spinach, kale, and Swiss chard are loaded with nutrients that directly support lung function. Swiss chard is particularly rich in magnesium, and magnesium is a powerful anti-inflammatory that helps your bronchioles, small airways inside your lungs, stay relaxed. Better relaxation means better airflow. Research has found that people who consume more leafy greens have a lower risk of lung cancer. One study specifically found that Chinese greens were particularly protective, likely because they're high in carotenoids, which are powerful antioxidants. These compounds protect your cells from oxidative damage, which is crucial because your lungs are constantly exposed to oxidants from pollution and normal metabolism. Leafy greens also provide folate, vitamin K, vitamin C, and fiber. What's remarkable is that the benefits seem to extend across different lung conditions, whether we're talking about COPD, asthma, or just maintaining healthy lung function as you age. A diet high in nutritionally rich, plant-centered foods has been associated with lower odds of emphysema in smokers and ex-smokers. The beauty of leafy greens is their versatility. Throw them in smoothies, sauté them with garlic and olive oil, add them to soups, or just make a massive salad. Your lungs will thank you. The bottom line, here's what we know from the research. Your diet genuinely affects your lung health. These aren't miracle cures, but they're evidence-based strategies that support your respiratory system's natural functions. The Mediterranean diet, which emphasizes many of these foods, has been shown to improve lung function in smokers, as well as people with asthma and COPD. One thing that keeps coming up in the research is that whole foods seem to work better than isolated supplements. It's the combination of nutrients, fiber, and bioactive compounds working together that provides the benefit. So instead of popping pills, focus on actually eating these foods regularly. If you're dealing with lung issues, these foods should complement, not replace, medical treatment. But adding apples, tomatoes, garlic, ginger, and leafy greens to your regular diet is one of the smartest, science-backed things you can do for your respiratory health. Your lungs are working hard for you every single day. Give them the nutritional support they deserve.